blinking lights in my face, so I can hardly see anything. The concert starts in 30 minutes, so if you're watching this as a recording, you can skip ahead to 30 minutes, because these first 30 minutes here, we're just gonna hang out and chat. Hello, Lost is already there, logging in. So I'm gonna put up a link beneath, so you can skip ahead to the concert part. There, I just posted now a link in the comments down here. If you click that link, you can participate with your webcam on Zoom, and you will appear up here in this little insert here. That's my Zoom, that's me on Zoom. So if you connect, you will just appear there, and you can join me through the concert and during the hangout. It's been 2 months since the previous live stream. I did some minor changes to instruments and setup, so I'm a bit like, as usual, out of it regarding which buttons to press and what to focus on when starting, so it always takes me a few minutes to get going. And also I will talk a bit about stuff that's happened during the summer and stuff that's gonna happen this autumn. But if you find all of this boring, just skip ahead to the concert, which starts in 28 minutes. Waiting for Zoom to launch meeting. Do you mean like I should launch the meeting? Have I checked? Let me check that I started a correct meeting room. It looks like it. Are you waiting for Lars? Are you waiting for invitation or for somebody to start the room? It's also pretty weird that it's only just you and me here. Usually there's like a bunch of people already when I'm starting. So I'm wondering if I've started on a wrong stream or something. Let me check. No, that looks like it's... Ah, there it go. Yeah, it looks like everything is ready on this side, so it's Stian already connected from a camping wagon, it looks like. Hello, Stian. Still on vacation, it looks like. Alright, I'm gonna get started with to inform you, I'm currently testing new glasses, and they are pretty good at, like, I can see the screen there, I can see the screen there, but if I look down here to exactly I hit the wrong buttons and I can't remember which buttons go, I think like that, because when I look down it's just blurry. The glasses are covering the pad I'm supposed to hit, so I will hit quite a few wrong buttons for tonight. That's nothing new there. Mikkel, hello, good evening. Yes, Lars, I think everything is okay. It's just everybody's still in summer mode, so it takes a while to get started. Okay, 5 minutes of completely nothing there, so I'm gonna start now. Oh, there's a fire! Oh, that's so great! And I can see myself on a screen next to the fire. Whoa, that's so lovely. Can I put that on the full screen? No, I don't have a way to show it at the moment, but on the Zoom now there's a very lovely campfire burning. You can probably see it on the screen up here, but I see it in full glorious color on my screen over there. And there's also two checking in. Okay, so what was I gonna say? I'm gonna press this button. and go over here. And first, I'm going to talk a bit about what's happened since last time. I went to the mountains to film moss and lichen and landscapes. You will see some of this later tonight. For now, I'm just going to show you what I did in still photos. So I went up to Hardangervidda. It's the mountain. It's the closest mountain area to me now. And I spent a few days roaming around places like this and taking photos and filming stuff like this. So I'm kind of crawling around on all fours to shoot photos and videos of moss and lichen and kind of close-up stuff like this. I'm not going to use the mushrooms for tonight, but I already have started working on some visuals using the mushrooms. But for mostly now I shoot landscapes like this in video format. You will see this later, and moss and water combine like this. I promise you, you will see this later in one of the tracks. I'm just showing you here a bit of behind the scenes of my epic adventure in the mountains. I also shoot a lot of lichen that won't be displayed tonight, but you've seen it previously in another video, and I'm still working on that. I don't know what exactly this is going to be, but I keep working on it, and at some point my big lichen project will end up in something. I managed to hit the right button. Thank you, you're too kind. Of other news that happened since last time, we had a Patreon summer party where I talked about Patreon, which is going great, and my Patreon is now on the 4th year. There's about 100 people as supporters on various tiers, from the free level, which is just you get the monthly kind of newsletter of what I'm working on, like a status update, and you get some photos and stuff whenever stuff is happening. It's kind of like a private social media, but you can sign up for it if you like. Here's a link to Patreon, by the way. And I will run it for another year in the current form. That it's like, at the moment we have 3 tiers, or 4 really. You have the free tier, and then you have music tier, music plus video tier, and the live tier. Each of these gets one specific post for that tier. So if you're on the top tier, you get 4 posts every month of different media formats. This is working very well for me, specifically to develop art. It's a fantastic way to keep making stuff and test it out on so first I test out stuff on Patreon audience, then I test it out in live streams like here, and then it goes on a stage like in 1 month or in 6 weeks. We are playing in Oslo, and then like everything is supposed to be finished. But you know me, like I think my whole life is a beta test, and I guess my concerts also. So it's just like different degrees of beta testing. Anyway, next year I'm gonna do some changes to Patreon to kind of simplify it, because even if it's great, it's become quite a lot of administration work for me to run everything. So I'm gonna just simplify things, but you can sign up now just for updates, and then next year when we hit the new system, that might work better for a larger group of people, I suppose. Let's see. It's plans, work in progress as always.
Warm up the chopper.
Mikkel is also now on Zoom. Thanks for connecting, Mikkel. Alright, and then like from okay news to a little bit bad news. This is the Retrotopia test print, which it's supposed to be released on, or I mean the album will be released on October 4th. I got the test print just before summer holiday. Unfortunately, there is a problem on side B on 2 of the songs. They are skipping quite a lot. I finally, and then like they sent me the test print just before the summer holiday, and then everybody took summer holiday. So first this week I managed to get in touch with the factory, and we discussed how we are going to move ahead with this. They have listened to it. It's also skipping on some of their players. We don't know what the problem is, but it has to go for another round at the cutting with the cutting engineer. Maybe it has to go all the way back to me. I have to fix something in the mix of the tracks, and then they will print another test print, and if that is okay, we will then print the whole batch. But that will take time, so at the moment I'm afraid that probably the vinyl album won't be available on October 4th. It might be, like with a miracle, it could be. But for now, I'm kind of like, okay. So I'm kind of putting, I'm also printing other records on vinyl. But at the moment, I'm kind of holding back a bit because I would like this to be the first that's been announced. So let's see. Hopefully, I will talk to them again next week about what the process is and what the time frame is going to be. There you go. Live chat is now on. Oh, and let's go back to the... I'm gonna look down now to see that I pressed the right button. And then more travel reports. So after... Oh, Mikkel. Oh, hang on. Coming back. Do you remember these? These are compact discs. Yes, I am very retro, and I actually found in a warehouse old batches of compact discs. So Mikkel, yes, you will get your very modern technology compact discs and also vinyl. And I've been speaking about, I will print the VHS also, but that's gonna take, oh, there you go. I pressed one of the wrong buttons. Hang on. The countdown was fucked up. Now it's much better. So what I have is Resound and Cinematronics, Nano Caravan. I also have Cowboy Desperado and Unicorn and Reminiscence, but they are under all of the, like, it's stables of packages. I couldn't reach them to show you, but they are here. And as soon as I have a plan for the vinyl, I will kind of get going with the ordering and stuff, but that probably won't be closer till the album is released. So I would say the beginning of October, I will have like a shop and be ready to ship out stuff. Richard, good evening. Chim Chim Cherry, good evening. Natalia, thank you so much for your donation on the previous live stream. I think I forgot to write you a thank you note on that. That's I'm very grateful for your donation last time. Okay, so more travel expedition trips. So just a few weeks ago, I went to Worldcon in Glasgow, Great Britain. Worldcon is a conference for science fiction and fantasy literature, and I went there mostly to hear talks and presentations on science fiction literature, because Retrotopia, or I mean, like a lot of my work is based on science fiction and has elements of fantasy to it also. And I went there because I've never been to a Worldcon. It's usually in the US, but this time it was just across the fjord. So I went over to attend and discover what this is all about. And I was hoping to have a lot of panel talks like this, and that there were quite a lot, but also a lot of events in the evening. I will just show you some pictures of this. I've written a very long and detailed report on this on Patreon. That is free to read, so just head over on Patreon and read it if you'd like to know more. I love Glasgow as a city, kind of the architecture and these narrow alleys in the back. Like I love the texture of the city. And also the weather. I found Scotland surprisingly exotic. I really want to go back. This is inside from the kind of the place where you can buy books and talk to authors. And in the evenings there are parties. Here's John Scalzi DJing. And I also went for a quick trip in Glasgow, and I found this really cool university with a very cool courtyard that looked like something out of Harry Potter. Unfortunately, take a look here. So this is one of the talks where it's a very little audience. But when this fills up, and if you sit at one of the chairs like in the back, you won't see the audience. You won't see the panel. You won't see the person talking. So I often ended up just watching the talks on my laptop from the cafeteria, like having a coffee. This was more comfortable, but that meant that technically I could probably just stay at home. But luckily a lot of my friends were there, so we had a good time. And in the evenings we had dinners and discussed all of the panel talks we've been to. I also saw the Irish Video Game Orchestra playing video game music with a full orchestra. That was really cool. And also there was another concert, an opera, a sci-fi opera that wasn't so great, but a good idea, and I enjoyed watching it. One of the most beautiful things for this, there was the new Batmobile and the vintage Batmobile was on display, and then just to the left of these, behind me right now, I turn around 180 degrees, and there were all the mobile chairs for people who needed assistance getting around, and that was so cool. You have the dream on the one side and then the practical reality on the other side. So that was my adventure in Glasgow. After that I went to London, but I will just check in with the comments before I move on to my London trip. Oh, Chris, you're in Trondheim now. Woohoo! I hope you're enjoying Norway and having a great trip. Ante 2002, thanks for a great compliment. And Lars also, I'm very glad to hear you guys are playing the music while working and when you're reading comics and books. Now, I will quickly also show you one thing that I talked about the previous live stream. There was a person who asked if he could print up the cover for Lett Bris fra Nordvest, the music I did for Festspiller last year. And after a bit back and forth, I did some upscales for him and to make it printable. And here is the end result. Check this out. That is really cool. I think that's the first time one of my covers has been installed as art in a house. I'm very, very proud of this, and it looks very tidy and neat. I'm very proud of this, and if I ever fail as an artist, which I feel I do every day, I could start a career as a painter of artworks for audio system rooms. That was from Morten. If he's checking in here tonight, hello Morten, that's really cool of you of sharing those photos. As Anna did with her tattoo last time. It's so hilarious. I love it when I see stuff like this. That's great. I also enjoy going to the cinema when there's no people in it. But that's been ages since I was able to. I think they caught up on that, and the films and the viewing times that I prefer, they kind of no, this makes no sense as a business. So they kind of, it's hard for me to find those spots anymore. The Gaborski, good evening. Thank you for your letter. I received it earlier today on Discord. I just kind of skimmed it. Oh, this looks lovely. I will read it properly and reply to you when I have time, which probably will be this weekend. But thanks for sending it. Eric, the price for vinyl, I quite haven't decided yet. I actually want to get them from the factory before and kind of sense it. Is this good quality? I think it is, because I ordered good vinyl and good paper, but I just have to look at them. But I guess they will be around like regular prices in Norway now is around 400, I think. Sometimes 350, sometimes 450, depending on colors and amount, like if it's a fold-out and stuff. So I would say the prices will be standard Norwegian prices. For some of the albums have special features, they will be priced a bit higher just because it costs more to produce them. Okay, it's 8 minutes, so before we start, I will quickly tell you about my trip to London, because it is related to my work. So after Glasgow, I took the Avanti West Coast train from Glasgow directly to London. That was a pleasant trip, and I brought down lots of my thoughts from the conference there. And this is what it looks like out the window. That was also exotic to me. I found it like, whoa, everything is so new to me. This was a great trip. Then I arrived in London. This is London. It's a big city south in England. And here's me in that city taking a selfie at a very good location. I was there for art. Mostly I went there to see like installation and media art. There's a bunch of exhibitions I really wanted to catch before they are closing. They're only running for a limited amount of time. I also checked out like in modern art in museums I haven't been to for a while. And this is the Moco Museum at the Marble Arch, which had some great exhibitions. I'm just showing you this one because it was a wonderful, cool room in the cellar that was made like a fake purple, it's like an AI generated garden, and somebody had built a complete room of that. It was fantastic. There was a ton of other great art there, so I would recommend the Moco Museum at Marble Arch. And next to that is the Frameless exhibition, which is the main reason for going to this area. That was actually much better than I thought, but it's still this. I went there for work because the concert at Paktata will have huge visuals, and I'm interested in seeing what are other people doing, how are they installing it, what are the animations on the walls. I have tons of videos of this, and I will probably make a Patreon video on this because that makes more sense when you can see the rooms and the visuals moving. But that was super rewarding for my work. I had a great time in London observing a lot of clever ways to do projection-related media works. I also went by Victoria and Albert to see a tiny media exhibit that I would not recommend, but I love this museum so much that I don't mind walking through it. And it was also a fantastic exhibit at, I forgot the name, Kensington Gardens. I think it's called the Kensington Museum, Kensington Galleries. I recommend that quite a lot. But this one I would totally go. If you're going to London this fall, you have to go to Reverb, an exhibition at the Vinyl Factory. That was fantastic. It's music and contemporary art and installations. Far down, dark in a dungeon basement cellar with tons of big rooms and lots of fantastic music, videos. It was just fantastic, great to walk around in that. There's like monster speakers. And I also saw, I can't remember the name of this, but and probably that's for the best, but I also saw stuff that wasn't great, but was very valuable in the sense that I see like, okay, people go to a lot of effort building all these huge media installations with lots of interactive stuff, and it's not working. Why isn't it working? I mean, like, I didn't find it engaging or interesting. But that was also, I think I learn more from other people's mistakes than I do from other people's successes. And I found this, which I was superbly interested in, Pringles with prawn cocktail taste. But I was in line and I was running and I couldn't carry it with me. And then I left for Berlin the next day. So I have to go back to London to pick up the Pringles with prawn cocktail taste. And very final note, on the way to my airport I had an hour to wait and I checked out this park and turns out it's full of weeds. Ugress Park in the middle of London. Thank you, London, that's very nice of you. Alright, 4 minutes until starting time. I will check in with the comments and the warm-up chat is almost over now. Oh, Morten, you're there. It turned out great. Thanks a lot for sending the photo over, and I hope you're enjoying films under the watchful eye of Vestlige Paraplia. Erinso, good evening. Wyvern, so how does prawn cocktail taste? Does it taste like the prawn chips you get at the Asian restaurants before ordering? You get like a bowl of prawn chips. Is it kind of like that? Or a prawn cocktail is something from the 80s, right? It's the glasses with lots of, in a fountain with lots of, it just looks horrible. And as usual, once I start making a mess of everything now in 3 minutes, I won't. It looks like there's not so many people here tonight, so probably I might have time to answer all of your questions as we go along. But if I don't manage to see your comments, I will see them tomorrow when I review the live stream and take my own notes. So thanks for coming and checking in, and on behalf of myself, excuse me if I don't see you and say hello to you during the music part now, because once I get going with the music, I try to keep high speed on that so we don't end up back in the talking. And just a final good news that nobody cares about but me, but still I have to tell somebody. I'm quite alone here during this summer. It's this button. Check this out. Like a few months ago, in the winter, I lost one of my mittens. This mitten. And it was gone. I kind of figured out, okay, it must be between A and B, this part, which was quite long, like several kilometers. I went back several times, but I could not find it. And then 2 days ago, I was biking through the same path, and I'm like, what the fuck? It was hanging on a branch. I have passed by this branch a billion times since March, but no, it was there. Woohoo! My mitten is back. So that was the good news. And it's more of a strange taste and slightly tangy. UK classic. So, do you think if I go back to London next year, I will find a prawn cocktail Pringles again? And I'm also glad to see you again. Okay, 1 minute. Let me check if stuff is working. That is working. So I'm going to test a bunch of new things for tonight. Some of them I have a bit control over, some not, but I will introduce that in a minute. Alright, it looks like we're about to start and everything is... Thanks, Wyvern. I am coming back to London to have my prawn cocktail Pringles. That's a perfect end of this Warmup and hangout, and here we go. Hello and welcome to Ugress TV livestream episode 33. That's I'm still amazed. Like, I'm very happy that I started with the leading 0, as it looks like we might actually end up with hundreds of these. If you want to participate on Zoom, you see a bunch of beautiful people up here. What happened to the campfire? The campfire is gone. There was a campfire here a moment ago. I'm going to post a link right now. There you go. If you click that link, you will appear up here with all these beautiful people, and you can join me here in the studio and also in the visuals that are starting in a few seconds. So for tonight, there's not a lot of important stuff. It's just music. I will play a bunch of tracks as usual. I'm going to test out a bunch of new effects and visuals that are the goal of these. I'm preparing for the Pakteater concert in 6 weeks. So I'm testing out as much as possible and stress testing my systems. So stuff might be like a bit wacklish, like unstable. But that is why I'm testing everything. So focus on music, and let's just get going with Guilty Culture. Let's get started with an English pronunciation course, Guilty Culture from 2009. Thanks. That was Guilty Culture from 2009, which has never been released anywhere. I think I just dropped it on ugress.com as a free single, as a Christmas present for Christmas of 2009, I think. And it's probably, I think it's also on YouTube, and we played it a few times in live shows over the last few years. But this track hasn't been touched for almost 15 years. So good to play some old obscure tracks. The next track is Rainy Transylvanian Day from the Cinematronics 2004 album. Thank you. That was Rainy Transylvanian Day from 2004. And I will quickly say hello to the comments and everybody who showed up. I also see Mist64 is on Zoom and Petra is on Zoom. And the campfire is back on Zoom. Yoo-hoo! All the way over here is a campfire on Zoom. Thanks for your applause. Very lovely. And I'm moving on to Loungemeister from 2000. I think I played it only a year ago, but I'm gonna test it in a new version now because on Pakteateret I haven't played it live on stage for many years. So I want to play it at Pakteateret and I'm testing out a different introduction and also testing out new visuals for it. So this is an experiment work in process.
groovy.
Thank you. That was a Loungemeister from the year. Woohoo! The future is so bright. From the year 2000, and I have to explain a bit of my mad ideas here. For the first, like this track was made in 2000, but it was published in 2002. And when I made it like ironically because I never fit in at parties. Like I'm always the odd one out. I'm like this purple creature here. And this track was like, I call it Loungemeister because this is so clearly not me. Like I'm not a Loungemeister. I'm absolutely not that person. I'm that purple. I'm the purple person. This is, by the way, a coincidence, or maybe some subconscious connection between me and the purple creature. So and no, I just like, okay, let's make a cocktail party and put a moss creature into it, a purple moss creature, because that's me. And also, I'm testing out, like I've made a new setup of the scratch pads. So I'm trying to get warm on that because Bad Scratches is coming back, baby, and he's madder than ever, and he's gonna do as much bad scratching as possible. But I'm also experimenting with, here I have keyboards, and in the same way as scratching, so I can play it like scratching. And I have like a ton of all kinds of scratch sounds. Oops, pressing too many buttons there. And I'm just experimenting now to see what works and not. I still will be working on that version of Loungemeister for Packtheater because I will also have a live percussionist. My regular drummer Nasra will be there, and we are going to have percussion battles, and I will be playing computer keyboards. And she will be playing drums. I'm hitting all the wrong buttons here. It's so we need an expert in computers, and that's not me. Okay, let's move on. There you go. To the next track, which is Ensomnia Dub from Lett Bris fra Nordvest. It's for you, Martin, a track from the album that you have on your wall. Thank you. That was Ensomnia Dub from 2023, the music I did for the opening ceremony at the Fastbill last year. And now Morten has the cover artwork on his beautiful wall. The graphics computer is currently loading the next song. If not, I would have loved to show you that. Maybe I can show you at the very end. But if not, you can go back to the beginning and see Morten's picture on the wall. I will now check in with the comments before moving on to the next track. Amethystium, good evening. Lars, I never dare to mess up the music at parties because I think people will be mad at me for ruining the party, which is also why I hate it when my own music is being played at parties. I'm like, no, turn it off, because I'm expecting everybody at the party to go like, what is this shit? Turn that off or swap that track. So I'm just, no, never play my music at parties. Richard, yes, it has some nice awkward moves, which includes me. Chris, the monsters are a combination of AI and animation. So I'm using AI to kind of generate the figure, and then I'm using animation and AI to animate so it's yes, generative AI is involved, but it's also me doing a bit of puppetry. And Chris, thanks for the comment. Yes, I also feel like finally, like I'm starting to see the graphics are stepping a bit ahead, and that's why I'm testing as much as possible for Paktata in 6 weeks. I want the visuals there to be like several steps up in compared to what they were a few years ago. Thank you, Petra. That's very, very nice. I don't know if I believe you, but the compliment warms me. Okay, I'm gonna be business-minded and move on to more serious matters, and that is Gunslinger Diplomacy, the most latest single that was released just a week ago.
precision, punctuation mark in the gospel of survival. But a machine can dream. I dream of the time before the fall. I dream of faces I could have known. I dream of redemption. Funny thing, redemption. Maybe it's the madness of the wasteland seeping into my processes. Skyscrapers, jagged teeth in the mouth of a dead world. I keep making holes in it.
Thank you. And now we are at your favorite part of the concert. It's the unskippable ad, at least in a live stream. I mean, if you watch this as a recording, you can go ahead and skip right now. But do please hear me out, just for kind of like how to support me as an artist in these hard times. You know, the most important thing is like I need a way to reach you. If you like my stuff and I have a new song, you probably want to hear it. Let me tell you about it. So sign up for my mailing list on ugress.io. There you go. Click the link, sign in your email, verify your email, and then you get an email. Right now, it's quite often, like every second week, because right now I release a single every second week. But generally, like on average, it's one email per month or so, whenever something concrete happens. You can also support me directly on Vipps mobile payment or PayPal or on Patreon. Pardon me, I lose my breath. The kind of breath controller is taking my breath away. On Patreon, you can support me on a monthly basis, and for that, you have there are some examples on ugress.com Patreon, and also there, like there's a free tier which is monthly updates and photo posts, and like when I write about stuff, you can read my writing about it. There's a music post that gets you pre-releases or archive releases. There is video tier that gets you videos and behind the scenes videos, and there's a live tier with a live event every month. That's it. Most of you know this. I'm just telling you because every time there's somebody like, oh, holy fuck, I didn't know you had a Patreon. Perfect, I've signed up for that. And yeah, it works. And if it doesn't work for you, then just sign up for my mailing list. And we are now at exactly 30 minutes. My God, my timing is so perfect. So we are moving on to Reason to Believe. And I will check in with the comments after that.
Information. So what do? We give them what they want.
Information. Information.
We give them what they want. We give them what they want.
We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe.
It is running now.
We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe.
It is running now.
Wasn't meant to be a game. Wasn't meant to be a game. Wasn't meant to be a game. Wasn't meant to be a game.
We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe. We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe.
You've got the wrong channel.
We have reason to believe.
Television.
Reason to believe.
Television.
Reason to believe.
Television.
Reason to believe.
Television. We give them what they want. We give them what they want.
We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe.
It is running now.
We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe.
It is running now.
Wasn't meant to be a game. Wasn't meant to be a game. Wasn't meant to be a game. Wasn't meant to be a game.
We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe. We have reason to believe he used scanning techniques. We have reason to believe.
You've got the wrong channel.
It is running now. It is running now.
That was reason to believe. My God, it's so quiet here. I'm looking forward to do a real concert where there's kind of like not just my own AMSR voice coming back to me, but some of that, like physically in the room. So, before playing the final track of tonight, which is Life is Frozen Frame, I will just politely check in with your beautiful, lovely comments and applause, and thanks so much for hanging out with me and helping me test out these tracks and up my game. So when I do a live concert in 6 weeks at Oslo Parkteater, it's going to be fantastic and great fun for all of us, including the computers, which so far has not crashed. But let's now play another computer song and see how that goes. But just check in and say hello and good evening before I wrap it up. I will come back to Sweden, Petra, no, for sure, but next year, not this year. I have too much to handle with all the vinyl and shit. Turn the volume hella up. Thanks you, Degeborski. I hope your neighbors in Serbia are having fun. Do I have a beaker again? Not quite, but I have a plastic like measurement that I felt like that looks a bit like a beaker, but I don't want to drink from it. It's like plastic, so at least I am kind of pouring from a beaker, and it's kind of science. Okay, I could spend all night looking, but I promised you I would be efficient and hit play on the next track. And then next live stream is pretty soon. It's in only 3 weeks. I forgot to put the date in the next one, but I think it's September 13 or something, in 3 weeks or so. I see you then. Thanks a lot for watching tonight. And here is Life as Frozen Frame. I love you guys.
These neon streets,